Hi, Hannah here. Well, thanks for joining me while I work on this side table. I wanted to upgrade like a laminate side table that I got for free to something simple but special. I might find when you're dealing with laminate, you shouldn't try to go too crazy or do something that maybe you haven't done before, because laminate is hard to um, try to do something over on, because well, it's not wood. You can't just sand it down and refinish it. So I always do a test sand to see if it's wood or not, and that's how I saw that it had some cardboard on it and it was not real wood. So a little sad about that, but I wasn't going to let that get me down. And I continued to scuff sand the whole piece because I already knew that had to be done. And I kind of just thought about what I wanted it to look like. And then I took a cloth and just wiped it down completely. I have it upside down because I know that this is where I'm going to start painting it. What I wanted to do was make sure the legs were done first, so I had to put it upside down and get it ready. Also, I wanted to note that this flip is not like a high price flip. Everyone knows that a side table is not any real money, but you know, it still was something for me to do. Of course, I'm going with my black. I love black. And also, people love it. It just matches what they have in their home. With black, I don't worry about priming. I do have primer, but with black, I don't have to worry about bleed through the same way you have to worry about white or light colors. So I did the black. I do have a project going on there, but I had to wait, and I ordered some stuff from Amazon to work on it. So I just grabbed a quick side table before I, so that I can work on my other stuff a little bit later. I wanted to note that I used to I used to brush to paint, just to rub the paint on. And that's why I'm kind of going all kind of ways. But once I get the paint on, I'm going to use a clean roller to roll on, so I don't have any kind of brush strokes on there, which is something I've been doing for a little bit of time. And because I don't go into a lot of detail about this method, I guess it's my confidence, but I don't go into a lot of detail about this method. I decided to attach a link to the description to the actual video that kind of helped me along. I know there are videos people talk about it, but this particular link actually has someone really going into a lot of detail about it. And so if that's something that you really want to look into, just check out the link in the description to the video. So I know it looks sort of crazy, but it's going to kind of self-level. I find that I put a little too much product on there, and that's why I kept rolling it, hoping to smooth some of that out. What I should have did was roll the brush, clean the the roller a little bit, and so I can pull more off of it. And so this is what it looked like after I finished doing 2 coats of paint. I do love Shabby. Oh, that's 1 coat of paint. I'm sorry. After 1 coat of paint, that's what it looked like. I do like Shabby Chic. I also try to put as much of a description of the products that I use, just in case you want to use that particular brand. and color and stuff like that. I moved into the basement area because I felt like I wanted to be able to move around a little bit more. And I hope that you enjoy my video so far, and please keep in mind to subscribe, which encourages me to keep posting if you actually want to see what I'm doing. So at this time while I'm painting, I already have in mind the color I'm going to use and the look I'm going for. I just don't know exactly where it's going to go, and I don't have the design down just yet. But you know, you got plenty of time in between the paint drying and stuff like that to really kind of hone in on exactly what you're going to do. I thought it was important to me to do something that wouldn't need a lot of correction, wouldn't give me any issues, but still looking unique and pretty. So that's a lot for me to do. So I just had to just think about it a little bit. So I definitely was thinking about gold. I just thought that would look better than a black and white piece, a black and gold piece. I have done gold before, and I thought the gold I used before was more metallic gold. It gave me like a yellow kind of vibe, and I didn't want to go for that. So this one is the Shabby Chic Antique Gold. I had less left of it, so I guess I was concerned about using it because I had less of the product, but I really wanted to do like a leg, not like before and block off anything. I wanted to do the entire leg. And so I said, I hope I have enough of this in there to do this. But also, I know that this particular type of gold paint is not as thick. It seems to be just more for like just details and what I use it for when I first had it, to kind of just around the trim a little bit. So this is what I knew I was going to do. I was going to make a mandala. I have done 2 of these before, and they both always seem to be more distressed because I always seem to do something to not make it look perfect, but I put a little bit of Tack spray on it just in the area that I needed it in small spurts. It's important not to use too much. You don't want it to ruin your project. And then also extra tape to keep it down. And I got a throwaway sponge, craft sponge, and I was going to take my time because I said I always seem to rush it. You see, I just have a little bit on the sponge, and I'm doing an up and down motion with the sponge, and it's going to take time to get it all done. And I said I'm not going to speed up this part. I'm going to give it real time, what it takes to get this thing done, and that is just being patient and making sure you have a small amount on it. I'm just checking, make sure it's not much on there, and you just keep with the up and down motion and making sure that every section is filled with color. I only do this one time. Like, I'm not going to let it sit and do a second coat. It is a high quality gold, so I know that it can actually make it look really great. So I just have to take my time and make sure it's enough on there. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not usually very patient, so I really had to tell myself, like, look, this needs to be done correctly, and just take your time. Because I had 2 laminate pieces in the past, and both, even though they sold, it was just a nightmare dealing with what was going on with the stenciling. Okay, I'm ready to remove it, and I'm just nervous and hopeful, but I definitely want to see it right away, so I know if I did well, and I was quite pleased with it. Now this is me putting a second coat on the side. I would tell you that I think I did about 4 coats. It just seemed like, it reminded me of when I was on my front door. The first 2 was just like, what? I had a good product on the door, but it just seems like nothing was thick enough. I did about 4 coats on my front door. So this would remind me of it. It just needed a lot of coats. And so I didn't bore you with that. I just decided to put the first 2 on, and then you can see it in the end for that one. Well, I'm using the Poly Top Coat Water Base in Satin, and I don't have my camera, my tripod with me, but after this I decided to stage it. The next day I staged it. So what do you think? I think the gold looks so much prettier than the other gold I use, and I like it. So let me know what you think in the comments.